We want to talk with you about the books that feed your imagination and the vices that spark your soul.
We drink, we curse, we read things. Come sit by us. Expect no judgment, just good times.
Welcome to Paper and Vices. Books reviewed, vices indulged.
Mature content warning.
I am Victoria Papers.
And I am Lee Vices.
So we have a trip coming up.
Yes, we do.
We, God, neither one of us are known for making the best financial decisions around each other when we see shiny things. That's going to be great. It's going to be the best.
Just maybe not for our pocketbooks or our waistbands, but you know.
Yeah.
Basically, we're going to have a good time.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And my good time includes a tour of all the used bookstores in a historic tourist town. Ta-da!
Yes. Ta-da!
You have to be careful because you're flying.
I do. Yeah.
That's for you.
There's only so much room in a suitcase.
Yeah.
Or in a carry-on. Not even a fucking suitcase. Because if I were bringing a suitcase, that would be a different story. But we'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know. So how are you?
I am in that lull for the crazy. So like we have our trip coming up. And then it's going to be like birthdays and Friendsgiving. And then it's the holiday season. And then we're hoping to travel not terribly long next year. Like not right at the new year, but not terribly long next year. Some of that's going to depend on how precautions and things are where we're planning on going. A bunch of other, like everything in the last 18 months. I'm planning it, but it could be a major disappointment.
You never know.
So it's very much the lull before the storm. And I'm just trying to be like, one thing at a time. I don't need to plan for Christmas yet.
Nope.
We're just doing today. Just doing today. It's okay. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out.
So do you still have your Halloween decorations up?
I mean, I kind of have Halloween decorations up year round at this point.
Fair.
But no, they stay up until Christmas decorations go up right after Thanksgiving.
Oh, cool.
Like the day after Thanksgiving, we're probably going to go get our tree, which is really early for us normally. But thank God we did last year because there was a fucking Christmas tree shortage.
Yeah, that nobody knew.
We live in one of the fucking states that the rest of the country gets Christmas trees from. So I'm like, the fuck? Did the tree stop growing during COVID? I have questions. But no, it stays up until then. And there may be a few skulls and spiders on the Christmas tree. As you do.
As you do. That's what makes a really good Christmas tree, I feel. Just random weird shit that nobody's expecting.
Yes. Random weird shit.
Yeah. We actually have a giant foam tooth that always makes it on our Christmas tree every year. I can explain.
No, I think I understand this.
My husband, before he decided to stay with his current career choice, was about to go into dental school. And so he somehow ended up with this giant, like, squishy foam tooth. And it's not really an ornament, but for some reason it got thrown in with our Christmas ornaments. And so every year we just kind of roll with it and it ends up on our tree. So
you have a small tree.
Yeah, I think
I decorate more for every holiday than you do.
I think so. You know what? We have a fucking hard time just decorating for regular life. So like on my this is, I have to say this has been driving me fucking crazy is that like I was hell-bent on by October 1st, we're going to have family pictures on the wall. I've got one family picture on the wall, and then I was about to print more, and my husband's like, but it's time to have another photo shoot. I can't tell you how much money we've fucking spent on professional family photos that have just never gone on the wall. So, yeah. I'm
about 2/3 of ours on the wall. We do have one of those inflatable things in the front yard from Halloween.
Nice.
And if I can figure out how to put a fucking Santa hat on it, it may just like stay there.
Oh, cool. You could probably paint like a t-shirt on it. that says like ho 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 bitches?
Maybe. I mean, well, here's the thing. It's inflatable, so I can't like have it eating a reindeer, but if I could, that would be Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's an inflatable dragon. I don't think anyone's going to find my house by me saying we have an inflatable dragon in the yard. We have an inflatable dragon. Yeah. So I just kind of want to put a Santa hat on it or find a way to make it eat a reindeer and just be like, that's our Christmas decorations. Ho 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 and shit. Or maybe just put like a Jack Skellington with his Santa hat next to it and be like, ta-da.
Yeah. No, Jack Skellington like fits perfectly, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was going to say you could have Santa ride on him. Right, like ride the dragon instead of ride the sleigh. You could have Santa ride the dragon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's not a huge market for Krampus front yard Christmas decor.
Strangely enough, you know.
Sucks. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of sucks. So we'll figure out something. I doubt. I'm pretty sure the dragon is going to become a Christmas dragon though. Ooh, maybe I'll just get it a scarf. Like I'll just get a blanket and cut it in half and sew the two halves together to be long and be like, there's a scarf on our dragon. He's Christmas now. Suck it, HOA. Suck it hard.
Amen. Fucking cheers to suck it, HOA.
Suck it, HOA. Cheers. I am super exciting tonight. I'm still drinking Oktoberfest because it's still in my fridge and it's still good. So
it's, you know, if they sold it year round, I guess the novelty
I would drink it year round.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
There's a wine, and I swear I've had it before because it tastes familiar and the bottle looks familiar. It's called Bon Terra, and it's got like a little twig on it with a bird, and it was like BOGO at my local grocery store. So
Nice.
It's alright. It's good.
Yeah.
It's alright. Yeah. It's one of those wines where you drink it and you're like, it's wine.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. It's better than sobriety. Of course, that's how people make toilet wine in prison, so maybe not the best endorsement. It was free alcohol, also probably not the best endorsement. True. What are your vices this week?
My vice this week is about a month ago, I turned on, there's on the Apple iPhones, they have this setting where you could turn on and track like how much you're actually using your phone. And it's I don't know, like I look and I'm just like, holy fuck, I average X number of hours a day on social media. And I don't feel like I spend that much time on social media, but according to the phone tracker, I'm wrong.
Is it when the app is running or when you're actively on it? Because those are different things.
It's when you're actively on it. So it's really weird because it tracks every time you pick up your phone and turn it on. And it's actually kind of creepy. Like the only reason I have it on...
Why the fuck would you do that to yourself is my honest question right now.
So honestly, the reason is because I'm like, I know I'm losing time throughout the day, and not like I have to be busy like 24/7, but I'm like, I get distracted very easily, and I also know that I kill a lot of time on stuff that's distracting. Like I purposefully distract myself so I don't have to do the thing, and then I get frustrated.
It's a deep level of self-awareness. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. But then I guess the reason I even really looked into it was because I get frustrated at the end of the week when the XYZ thing is not done. And I realized that I have some perfectionism and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so my vice this week is unfortunately my cell phone, because I'm like, this shit needs to be like cut down, because there's no reason I need to spend 3 to 4 hours a day on my cell phone.
So it's a vice you're weaning yourself off of this week.
Yes, for sure.
Fair.
And I feel like just replacing it with cheese would not be healthy. So I need to definitely maybe step away from vices this week. So anyway, so that's
you
where
can't
I'm at.
See what she's laughing at. She's not laughing randomly. She can see me on Zoom and she's seeing my face, which you are not seeing because I have a face for podcasts. Yeah. My vice this week is that I bought new luggage. That may just be hopeful yearning. That may just be hopeful yearning. But I bought new luggage. I bought a big ass bag that I could actually fit a week's worth of clothing in.
Nice.
And I bought a small bag that I can fit meds, makeup, toiletries, and a curling iron in.
That's perfect.
It's perfect.
What else do you need?
Very excited. I have never, so for years, literally 16 years, 17 years, many years. Since the year Welcome to the Black Parade came out, I have had this giant ass Jack Skellington duffel bag.
So good.
I love it. And I'm not throwing it away because I emotionally can't yet. I mean, maybe I'll be there this time next year. But all the zippers are broken. Like they work, but like there's no pull left on them because the pulls broke off. It's unwieldy. Like it has wheels on it, but it's a fucking duffel bag. There is no structure. You're just throwing your shit in a bag. There's no compartments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought a big girl grown-up suitcase, pockets, and hard sides, and a matching little suitcase for other things with lots and lots of pockets. And they both have rolly wheels. And I feel like a big fancy adult with only a hint of imposter syndrome. Because this is another one of those weird things that you just don't realize isn't normal in your childhood until you grow up. My parents have the ugliest, shittiest luggage. They've had it since I was like 8. My mom hates it. It's literally falling apart. And I've seen it within the last decade. And there's a part of me that's like, it's one thing to be frugal. Mm-hmm. It's another thing to spend so much fucking gas to go to a stupid church and give so much money to a stupid church that the thought of, fuck this noise, I'm going to go buy new luggage, doesn't occur to you.
Yeah.
So I have bought big girl luggage. And in this way, once again, I have surpassed my mother. No teen pregnancy. And I have luggage. We're getting there.
Yes. Oh man, I love new luggage though because it like you're like it just there's something about it that offers promise of adventure. I
am cautiously hopeful.
Yes.
That this luggage will see adventures within the next year. Planned, we want adventures, not oh shit, there's a hurricane adventures, because we've had those adventures before.
Those are different.
Those are different. And I'm not saying they're all bad.
No.
But sitting in a car for 14 hours to drive 6 hours away to Georgia, I don't recommend.
No.
And then the hurricane turns and just fucking chases your ass to Georgia. Like fun, planned, milquetoast white people adventures.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, I'm excited and cautiously optimistic, and it's just one of those things where it's like it just feels so fucking fancy to have like 2 pieces of matching luggage that I picked out in my favorite color. Like, holy shit balls. And this is another one of those things that like my kid's life being so different from mine, he has, because the trip we're hoping to take next year has been canceled and replanned like 4 times. She has, that she's never used, she doesn't even know she has, like a little weekender unicorn space stars magic luggage.
Oh fuck, that's amazing.
Yeah. And she she will always be like, this is my bag, it's special. So yes. and she's like you in the level of into her backpack she is. Yes. She's like, this is my backpack, this is where my things go. My backpack. And if I say book bag, she's like, you mean my backpack? I'm like, it has your books in it. It has my computer in it. Okay. Thank you, child. Good job. So anyway,
you have to get it right.
it's very exciting on many levels to have new luggage, and I am quietly excited and reluctantly optimistic.
That's awesome. Cool deal. So what are you reading this week?
I am reading The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik. Novak?
Yay. Sure.
Naomi N. Sure.
One of those.
I loved the first book. It was so good. It was like, it was very Harry Potter meets Hunger Games. And it has,
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and it has, and I know a lot of things have said that, like, Divergent. Not a fan of Divergent. But this really, like, it delivers on the creepy magical. I would say it's darker than Harry Potter by quite a bit. Like, all those students you thought should have died at Hogwarts, they died in the Scholomance. It's very, like, high stress and high stakes, but it's also, like, they're teenagers. So what it's about is witches and wizards. There are these basically demon entities, for lack of a better word, that they call them Malferia, that eat child witches and wizards. So out of desperation, because all their fucking kids were dying, all the enclaves of the world, or magical communities of the world, created a pocket dimension with a clockwork magic school with no teachers. Everything's just kind of automatic and magic, that they threw into this pocket dimension. And it's like a big year that whirls down. And so you start as a freshman at the top, and then you move down a level every year. And there are some Malferia in there with them. So a lot of the students get eaten and shit breaks, and there's no one to fix it. And there's no actual teachers or staff. It's all the school. So the school is as much a presence and a character, I would say even more so than Hogwarts is in the Harry Potter books.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And it's not like Hogwarts is benevolent as fuck. Hogwarts is like if grandma was a castle. The Scholomance is not. Scholomance is a cheeky little shit that sometimes is rooting for you, and then sometimes it's like, you've served all of us rotten eggs and porridge with gnats in it for 3 months. I'm so tired of this.
Yep.
And so it's very gritty and very dark. And it's not, I like the system of magic with building mana and storing it in crystals. It's not overly bright and cheery.
No, not at all.
Which is very much my vibe. And so I like it. I'm on like chapter 2 or 3 of the second one, which is called The Last Graduate. The first one is called A Deadly Education. They're very good. I suggest you pick them up if you like any sort of teenagers fighting for their life, coming of age stories, characters who sit in that gray area of neither good nor bad, and stories that make you. So I have this thing, and people who aren't gamers probably won't understand this, but forgive me. I really fucking hate paladins. They annoy the ever-loving shit out of me. And Orion Lake is our paladin, but he's got some shit going on, and I really appreciate that they explore that. So, yeah, it's a good time, and I'm really enjoying it. And I was still looking forward to this book, that the only copy I have is corporeal, and I am not reading it on my Kindle.
Which is a big fucking deal for you.
It is. I am annoying the fuck out of my husband with my little Edison bulb bedside lamp being on until 2:00 in the morning, reading my book.
Yes.
It was a good time. So yeah. What are you reading?
I actually have the same book on my Audible account that I just downloaded, but I've only gotten...
Because the first one was one of my drunken shares with you. That's right.
Yes. And I have made a rule, although I already broke it. I've still got my list of books that I was reading from like the fucking summer, and here we are.
And shit happens.
Shit happens. I'm like, I need to not buy any more books, like corporeal books, and then if I buy anything like else, it needs to be an Audible, because I've got Audible credits, but and anyway, so I finished. So the main book that I finished this week was the Fly with the Arrow, and the Bluebeard thing. Yeah, it was so, like, I enjoyed it from the beginning, but I have to say at the ending, I was just like, oh my god, I love this book. It's so good. And
I'm so looking forward to you getting to dance with the sword, because it starts and you're like 5 or 10 pages in and you're like, holy shit, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely hints at some fuckery, because at the end I'm just like, the fuck is this? Like, what is going on here?
That was a very what the fuck moment. Like, you're like, yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, while you're cheering, your arms are up and you make the WTF face is how that book ended.
accurate. So, and they don't have, sadly, they don't have the second installment of that series on Audible yet. So
I'm sure they will.
I'm hoping that they will. It's just kind of like, okay, do I rush to go out and just buy a corporeal version of this and then not have the first one on my shelf, and then that's just weird? Or do I get something else? And so I ended up getting the Last Graduate because I'm like, well, this is on Audible and I can,
feel like even when you make no new book promises to yourself, there's an unspoken caveat for continuing series.
Yes, 1000%.
So at this point,
man.
I'm so invested. I could swear to never buy another book and still be behind on my to-be read list.
Yes.
And that's okay.
Is it really a different book, quote unquote? Because, it's the same series.
True.
Same thing. They just break it up into sections so that the author can catch up and so that you're not reading like 10,000 pages in one.
People should have told God about that regarding the Bible. Anyway. And then the Mormons got impatient and made their own second book. You can tell it was ghostwritten by a different author. Like, if you just read it, you can tell.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Something tells me it's a little different.
A little different. I totally forgot what I was going to say. So yeah, I like it when we're on the same books. We'll have a nice drunken conversation about this. That will be epic content that we will completely forget to record.
Yep. Or we'll record it and then release it on our Patreon because we have one of those.
Yes. I need to update it. I forgot to last week.
Yeah. It's all good.
We do. There are sparkly pens. No, pins. There are stickers. And there's cut rants because well, sometimes I do go on. Oh yeah. So is there anything coming out that you're really looking forward to, like between now and the end of the year? Or are you just kind of chilling?
I'm kind of chilling. I do want to wrap up, like I said, stuff from summer. And I'm still reading my way through the Sookie Stackhouse novels because there's like 13 of them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go back and read Kristen, or is it Kirsten? Kirsten or
Kishore.
Kirsten? Yeah. So she came out with another installment from, and I forget the name of the series of the world, but
The Graceling Realms?
Yes, the Graceling Realms. So there's another book that she released right about the time that I was complaining that she hadn't written any in a long time. And I haven't picked it up. I am kind of afraid that I'm not going to remember what the fuck is going on in this series. So I'm almost feeling like it's a good excuse to like start 2022 off by rereading all the old books and then reading the new one.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple books that have come out recently. The sequel to A Stitch in Time came out. That's on my Kindle waiting to be read. Jeffy Kennedy has 1 or 2 books that she's released that I'm getting there. I will get there. Ilona Andrews has another book in the Kinsman universe coming out in November that I will buy and read, even though I haven't finished reading all of the Kinsman universe that they've already written. And I may not get up to it for a while, but it's just one of those things. It's like, all right, kids, this is how it works. When you like an author, buy their books.
Yes.
Don't wait for a series to be finished because that increases the likelihood the series will never get finished.
Mm-hmm.
I love most of everything Ilona Andrews has written. House Andrews, as they are referred to by their fans. I love almost everything House Andrews has written. Read the first half of the first Kinsman book. Didn't catch me as fast as like Innkeeper or Kate Daniels did, but that could have also been the mood I was in, the day, the alignment of the stars, or my left toe itched and I was distracted. Like, it could be a thing. It's not bad. It is not my favorite. But authors that can keep their lights on are happy authors who keep writing.
Yes.
So we've waited a few years for Hugh D'Ambre's book in the Kate Daniels universe because they didn't want to write it last year because it's very dark and the whole world was kind of dark from the soot of burning bodies from the COVID virus.
Yeah.
And they're finishing Ruby Fever, which is Catalina's trilogy, which is in the Hidden Legacy series, which I love. Eventually, they will write another book about the Bloodhair series, which is like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But because I want them to write all of these things and I have disposable income to buy books, I buy their books.
Yes.
Don't give authors shit because they haven't written the books you want them to write yet. I can kind of understand if you're a little iffy with George R.R. Martin. It's arguable he's procrastinating.
A little bit.
But if I refuse to buy any House Andrews books until they write another Bloodhair or the sequel, or they continue the Rider series, if you want to call it that, because it's about Aurelia Rider. If I go on their blog and say shitty things about them not writing the series I want them to write, that makes me a bad person. If you want your authors to write more, buy the books they write. Happy
Support
people
them.
Write more. It's a thing.
1000%. Yes.
Like, apparently, a working HVAC system and a stable internet connection are both things that cost money, and they are both things that improve a writer's life to the point that they are more likely to write the happy words you want. So anyway, I'll be buying that and reading it at some point.
That was quite the soapbox that I was not expecting, but it was very valid.
I wasn't either, but then it just came out. It's like, so Ilona Andrews fans are called the BDH, or have been named the Book Devouring Horde, because they release a book and then we read it within like 12 hours and we're like, that's amazing. We know we have to wait 2 to 5 years for the next one. And there are people who love the Kinsman universe, that it's their absolute favorite.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know that they were ever going to write anymore. And then after 10 years, they were like, we're going to release another Kinsman novella.
Wow.
And so I'm very excited for those fellow members of the Book Devouring Horde that they get more Kinsman, even if it's not my jam. And I will just sit and wait my turn happily. And I feel like, I've read, so the Book Devouring Horde is pretty good about it, but I've read some comments on other authors' pages that they're like, well, I don't want to start a series until it's finished. Like, do you realize that just increases the chances the series isn't going to get finished? Or like,
most people don't realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. Like, authors are people. Do you not need to pay your bill? Like, fed authors write more words. Ta-da! And it's not often, but like, and also the moderator at House Andrews blog is really good, but like, sometimes people just write really nasty things, and I don't think they realize they're nasty, but they're like, please, please, please write this book that you told us you're not going to be writing for another 2 years. I need it now. And it's like, no, they're not. Just
No.
If you want, it's positive reinforcement. So buy their books, like and share their books, read their books you haven't read. If you like their shit so much that you want to be annoyed with them not putting out more stuff in your favorite series, then you'll probably like their other shit. Go read it.
Yeah, very true.
Okay, off my soapbox.
Good timing, though. I think we've said all the things.
Yeah, I've said more than all the things. I need to go to bed. You can find us all over social media at Paper and Vices, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. If you have a recommendation, a disagreement, if you want to tell us about this indie author we haven't read, if you want to correct us because I pronounce everyone's name completely wrong all the time, you can message us there, or you can email us Victoria@paperandvices.com or Lee@paperandvices.com. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. Podcast marketing costs like $500 a month, and literally $500 a month doesn't do as much for your podcast as 5 people liking, leaving a review, and sharing it.
It's true.
Maybe we should just do $100 gifts. It would be cheap. If you could do that, it would really help us out.
Yes. In the meantime, don't be an asshole, smoke a joint, and take care of yourself.
This has been a production of Paper and Vices, copyright 2021.
This episode is presented for entertainment purposes only, and any advice should be pursued only within the legal boundaries, common sense, and personal responsibility of each person. Please check your local laws. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the individual hosts and guests only, and do not in any way represent the views of Paper and Vices LLC or any named persons, nor should they be considered personal, medical, or legal advice. Previous episodes and other commentary can be found at paperandvices.com.